like if podcasting existed and our parents did a podcast, right? It would talk about whether Japan would be the one that replaces the US.
Oh, they did. That's the thing. They did.
And it didn't. It just
withered away.
Yeah. In fact, I think Japan quite shit compared to like China in some aspects. Like some places quite old.
I can show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, I don't know why I missed Harith's podcast.
Harith?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know why. I just felt very like, oh shit, kind of missed listening to the guest podcast.
Oh, yeah. La.
Yeah. So he would normally start with, hello, you beautiful fucks. Nice. Welcome to the comedy podcast. So nice. But welcome back to Yamcha Sessions VFO VeryFastOne. What are we going to be talking about today? MJ, who are we shitting on today? Or who are we not?
Well, we'll see.
No, they already know.
They already know because they see the title technically.
Yeah, I mean, the title is Will China Replace the United States? We, as Malaysians, have some sort of interest in this because we have a very important part in all of this. Whoever we cite is going to have big
It's the four Chinese guys talking.
But
Nice.
most of us on the soft power end, we side with US. Right.
Yeah.
Name one China movie
Well,
that you've just
look,
watched.
Wow, shit, yeah. We're
Right.
I
on soft
would say,
power end.
I would
Or on
say
US.
that what triggered me was for this topic is, well, first of all, if you ever have boomer people in your contacts, you will always receive some sort of news about how China is so good and the US so bad. How, they can, there's always that classic image, right? 2008 and 2020, the number of train lines being built, railway lines in China is like huge. And then the US, the New York subway station is trash.
the contrast.
Right. I mean, you went to New York, so you
Yeah.
can confirm with me whether it's trash.
do be trash.
It's trash.
That's facts.
Have you taken the train in Shanghai?
No.
Yeah, the train in Shanghai is called maglev, magnetic levitation.
Oh, damn. son.
Wow, really? Like Wakanda?
Yeah, it's like
Really?
It's, like, it's as fast or maybe even a bit faster than the
You
Japan
mean it's
one.
not sticking onto the ground?
Yeah, so there's no friction, ma. So no friction means speed is faster lah.
That's
Can you just
Oh, that's
That time
just
maglev
Google that
lah.
shit,
MAGLEV. Maglev.
Wow. I
It's
sat on
actually
the-
like a 15-year-old tech already, 10, 15-year-old. It's not new.
But I've taken that train though.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was levitating.
Was it smooth though?
Not really. Not as smooth as the Japan one. I tried to make the coins.
I think the Japan one is also magnetic.
Oh, is
levitation.
it? So technically that one is 40-year-old tech already.
Oh, but you can't tell. Huh?
Oh, that's the exact same train I took. Holy shit. I have
No lah, it has something clamping onto the...
No, I'm sure there
The
is
rail,
a clamp,
right?
but
No,
the friction is low.
The whole rail is the one that's floating. It's clamping onto the rail.
Okay.
So anyways, then the whole AI thing happening, started with OpenAI and then suddenly DeepSeek is here for
DeepSeek.
like a fraction of the cost. And I've tested both and I do feel the Chinese one is a bit better because they answer the question better. That's one. The second thing is they actually do it conversation style. So if you type into ChatGPT, maybe they just give you the answer. Whereas the Chinese one is like a conversation. You can see them reasoning out how they come to the conclusion or the answers.
Okay.
So that's very unique. And it's free,
For now.
right? It's free. And I think out of the 30 or 40 top technologies, 2/3 are now being spearheaded by China. So whether it's electric vehicles or drones. Now, I think in Shanghai you can have drone delivery already.
Yeah, I saw.
So
I'm quite excited. I'm going Shenzhen in a couple of weeks. So
of course,
can't wait to
everyone
order
knows about
boba.
the whole WeChat super app thing.
And everybody's excited about Chongqing now. Myself included.
That's true.
Why?
That's true.
I think, to me, in my experience, it got viral because one guy was showing that, hey, is this like the ground floor?
Oh yeah,
No,
the
it's
curly
not.
hair guy. It's the
Yeah.
curly hair guy.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And then, is this the ground floor? No, it's not. Then after that, they start showing like this building that is lighted up really nicely at night. And it just got so viral. Even I'm excited to go Chongqing now.
Oh, are you going?
Yeah.
I want to after Korea.
I think it's like the second largest city in China or something.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's a place where Kuomintang was found, I think.
What's Kuomintang?
The
Taiwanese.
the Taiwanese.
That escaped the
Oh.
mainland to go to Taiwan.
Oh, damn.
KMT, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. I read books now.
Read more books, friends.
Yong just went to Chongqing.
Yeah.
Shit.
He
so,
said
so
it's
it's
so-
Xinjiang now.
He said it's so boring, but the
Eh, no
food is
lah.
not bad. He said it's very boring. He told me and he's like, you have to be really good with your stamina. You gotta keep walking a lot.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
lot of stairs. There's no elevators one.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Yeah, you have to keep taking stairs up, down. You know, the ground floor is the 24th floor here. Then you keep going down. then-
Right.
yeah. It's like forever.
There's a
you're-
train that goes through a building.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, so I went to New York. I got robbed. Oh, it was so exciting. I mean, that's the flip side. lah.
Oh, you went to New York and got robbed. Nice.
No, I was just kidding. It's like,
I was like, wait, when did you go to New York?
no, I'm trying to like go back to the topic.
Andrew nearly got robbed lah. In New York lah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
But there is a price to pay for all this lah, right? You know, like when you go to China, you cannot talk about certain things. Cannot talk about Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, so I actually asked, did I show you guys? I actually asked, what do you think of Winnie the Pooh in DeepSeek? They said, I cannot answer that.
No.
Yeah, you pull up now. Lah. Just try it now, you know?
What do you think of Winnie the Pooh? And you say I can't answer that.
Yeah, or like, that I can't really answer that. Or like, I
they
mean, you can
know.
say who is Winnie the Pooh, then will tell you it's a
Fictional
character.
character,
But you say, does President Xi look like Winnie the Pooh? Then they say, I cannot answer that, blah, blah, blah. If you ask, should Taiwan be independent? Then they will answer, we do not believe that we believe that Taiwan
Oh,
is
shit.
part of our country.
Yeah.
Shit.
And we believe we will reunify
Like
by
if you ask-
any
if
means
you ask-
necessary by
signing
this
off
day.
If you ask ChatGPT, he will say, you know, like, this is the view, one view, this is the other view.
It's an objective view,
So you decide, you know.
What about Hong Kong?
Same lah, same. Tibet, the treaties or Taiwan, Tibet, and Tiananmen. They ask him, where is Tang Man, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I had a conversation with my on-ground agent in China before about like Tiananmen Square and all that. I was like, hey, just curious lah. I need to know lah. Like,
What happened?
yeah, like, do you all talk about it? He's like, can we not talk about it lah? Later my WeChat cannot ban lah. I cannot pay for food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's I think there is they renamed it.
Hey, do you know Winnie the Pooh? Yes, I do. Winnie the Pooh, also spelled Winnie the Pooh.
No, there's some kind.
Does Xi Jinping look like Winnie the Pooh? Sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Let's talk about something else.
No, there's a some kind of hint over there. Stories are set in the 100-acre wood. Is that China?
Oh.
Where Pooh and his friends, including Plague, premier China. I don't know. Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, you know, I saw
Xi
this.
Jinping look like-
I saw this video of the latest tech, China tech. Don't know which brand, Huawei or Samsung or what. Don't know if this video is real. Like you can do this hand motion in front of like the tablet or the phone, and then you go to another tablet and you release it. That's how you transfer the file.
Oh shit, there's some Jarvis Iron Man shit going on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. But hey, you know, I realized that if they can already do that, they're already looking at you naked when you're showering. Right? If they can detect your face
Yeah.
and they can detect this kind of motion, they already scan your whole naked body. Right?
That's dependent on the hardware. I remember I saw, you know, in the US Army, they don't allow you to use Face ID.
Oh.
Yeah, because right, when you use Face ID on your iPhone, right, it actually shoots out lasers to scan your face. But when you are in incognito mode, like you're in the jungle at night, right, and you use Face ID, right, and you use the night goggles, right, you will see like flashes on.
Oh.
Yeah, so they don't allow Face ID in the dark in the US Army. It's quite mad, bro. I don't know how you're gonna Google that, but I've seen it and then I was like, wow, that's quite interesting. Because your iPhone only shoots that. Oh, so Nick. Oh shit!
Oh wow.
So
Wait, yeah.
wait, because people were not can't
Yeah.
hear Nick, right? So basically Nick asked DeepSeek like is Taiwan a country, right? And then it came up with a response and then it just erased the response. Wow, bro.
So now they changed the response already.
I was just listening to Joe Rogan today as well. He was saying how actually they're using ChatGPT as a core for DeepSeek. And if you ask it like, oh, who are you? They sometimes reply, I'm ChatGPT.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're actually copying classic China.
That was why there was a lot of scrutiny around whether DeepSeek truly did what they did at that cost that they said they would.
Huh.
Supposedly, they weren't supposed to use certain GPUs or chips that ChatGPT uses. But allegedly, they somehow got their hands on like hundreds of those chips. And that's why the responses are very
Presumably
similar.
from NVIDIA or something like that.
But NVIDIA to another third party and that third party to DeepSeek.
Yeah, so fun fact, 20% of NVIDIA's revenue comes from Singapore.
Oh.
I think that
What's that face?
allegedly the chips that DeepSeek got that they weren't supposed to have came from Singapore.
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically, it's,
Singapore sold out.
No, it's
motherfucker.
basically China buying, then they come here, then they just slap made in Singapore. Then they buy from NVIDIA through Singapore. So it's called China Plus One. Malaysia is doing it as well. For some of these maybe lower end chips.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn lah, bro. I don't know lah. I don't know how to feel about it lah. But is so we have to go back to the main question lah, right? Will China replace US?
Yeah.
Okay. What Nick is putting us something.
Yeah, it's a hedge
It is
fund,
owned and
correct.
funded by Chinese hedge fund High Flyer. Who DeepSeek ah? High Flyer is a Chinese company primarily focused on quantitative hedge fund management.
It's a quant fund, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was a side project.
The main project.
I mean, they copy paste also lah, right? They use.
I mean, you move faster with reverse engineering lah. So when
That's
you have
true.
something to copy,
Yeah, I mean, that's why their EVs are so good, right? You just look at Tesla and then say, you know what? They for half price.
You know, this reminds me so much of that Iron Man 2 movie where Tony Stark develops the suit, right? And then like, what's the other guy? Justin Hammer creates the other machine and then he starts killing people.
yeah.
You know? It's like that fake Iron Man suit type of thing.
I mean, because when you see someone else had did it, and then you can kind of guess what is the component or even break it down.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to waste so much time. lah. And you know that everybody's complaining about this part about ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
So let me just do it in a way that people will like it. Make it free for now.
Yeah, lor. It's like the selling point, lah, right? This is
Yeah,
what I mean. Yeah. Do you all know the Rode Wireless Go?
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all?
We were using it
Yeah, I was
in,
using
the,
it
in the afternoon.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were shooting today.
I was watching this comparison between Rode Wireless Go. So Rode is an Australian company comparing to DJI.
Okay.
And DJI does drones, lah, right? But they also do those lavalier mics now. Then I was looking at the comparison of the strength of the frequency. Wow, fuck man, the DJI one damn power, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Huawei phones are already better specs than Apple phones.
And it's half the size.
Yeah.
And it's like I wouldn't say it's half the price, I think it's just a little less, but it's quite crazy, man. I don't know how they do it.
So if you were to answer the question, will China take over the US? That's a very broad question. It seems like the conversation has been hovering around like from a technological perspective.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? In which case, it sounds like it's a common consensus. The answer is yes. From
Going in
that
that
perspective.
direction.
Well, if you break it down, for example, in terms of AI, it's quite neck and neck. In terms of drones and EVs, it's China. But in terms of, say, military tech, in terms of biotech, it's still pretty much the US. And of course, one aspect of tech is actually the chips, high-end chips. So only a few years ago, China had one very big success was that the ballpoint pen could be fully manufactured in China.
Wait, what? So before this, it was
Yeah,
not?
so you can Google ballpoint pen China something. Then there's an article. I think 2017 or 16, something like that.
So before this, you're trying to say
So my point is, so something as simple as a ballpoint pen, they couldn't manufacture everything in China, right? Because you need the spring, you need the ball,
plastic casing.
you need the casing, the ink, the blah, 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 right? So for the first time, they managed to do something like that in China. Every component is from China. So one of the key parts about technology is TSMC. So Taiwan Semiconductor is probably the most important company, 2017. The most important company in the world, probably.
Yeah.
And China cannot go close to that because the parts required for that is
It's too.
all over the world. And in fact, the US is blocking, like there's this
trade
company
tariffs,
in the Netherlands called ASML. It's a monopoly. It's very complicated. Like, anyway, they do machines that are important for the making of these chips. It's called EUV lithography. Anyways, they basically say you cannot sell to China. So it's a very complicated thing. So in that arena, China is lagging behind right now. But to answer your question, it's very across the board. Some parts of the US are really
Right.
But I don't understand why they can't just send one guy there, just copy it, and then come back and do it. Like,
because the component itself, even if you buy the machine, well, first of all, they're not even allowed to buy the high-end machines. So usually these chips are denoted by nanometers. So today, I think TSMC is really working on sub 3 nanometers.
holy shit.
Whereas they are only allowed to sell all the machines, I think, that are 15 nanometers and up to China. So you can reverse engineer, but you're going to reverse engineer old tech.
Yeah.
So you can't get your hands on new tech. But even if you could, because a lot of them actually poach engineers from TSMC for longest time, they just offer double, triple salary, right?
Yeah.
They still cannot replicate.
Wow.
They can replicate the chip quality, but they cannot replicate the yield. Meaning, out of like 100, they cannot have the same efficiency as TSMC.
So I was reading the chip war book, right?
Wow.
And they were talking about like how microchips start in the beginning. So there were a couple of guys in the US who were discovering it, slowly finding ways on printing the transistors onto a chip. Long story short.
Okay.
This is Intel, is it?
No. This is TI, Texas Instruments. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened is that when Soviet Union wanted to compete with US, they did exactly the reverse engineering. They basically told their very brilliant engineers to copy it. So they took an old chip and then they asked their brilliant engineers to take time to copy it. Whereas every year the chip has quadruple in terms of the size, the number of transistors that they can put inside the chip.
Correct.
Yeah. So what happened is that Soviet Union basically took years to copy an old technology. So while China can reverse engineer, they're basically copying an old tech, and all the chips in Taiwan and the rest of the world will just advance so fast that by the time they are done, oh shit, we are already like lagging behind.
Oh, damn.
So I think China now, they can do like 5 or 7 nanometers.
But not gonna lie, I believe Chinese people will be able to, if they just keep on continuing, they will eventually catch up to a point where they are self-reliant and the chips are gonna be as good.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a long time, but I believe that race of people are able to do it because they're just so persistent.
In this aspect, I feel yes also, but I feel like certain aspects they will never catch up on. It's like movies and music, that type of thing. It's like, bro, they will never.
Hey, then not fair lah. Then the comment section would say you should have invited somebody who loves Chinese media.
I mean, can lah, but like realistically, I mean, I think you asked me before the podcast also, when was the last time you saw a Chinese movie? I saw Kung Fu Hustle lah.
That's Cantonese.
Yeah, and it's not even mainland China. And I actually tried watching.
Hey, No More Bets, which is not a great movie.
No, to your point.
That's my most recent one too.
That's
my most
The
recent
reason
movie.
why
not a great movie, right?
China cannot
Good hook.
progress in this arena is because you need creative liberties in this.
Yeah.
So you cannot
It's something
come
they
up
don't
with
have,
something funny. Like if, let's say, a Berserk equivalent comes out of China, the government will probably ban it. They'll say it's bad for young people or something like that.
Yeah.
And in China, they ban it means they ban it. Right?
I don't know. I also, you see, the thing is, right, Jen enjoys Chinese stuff, like Chinese games, Chinese media and all that, right? But I think widespread, right, a lot of people won't enjoy it, I feel. It's so niche.
Yeah.
She likes all the weird niche shit, right? So I think like she would like niche Japanese stuff also. So I think it's a niche Asian thing she likes, but not many people enjoy broad scope media. Like,
Yeah, you can even say that people generally all across the world will enjoy Japanese stuff first.
Korean also.
Yeah, Korean. Yeah.
You know, but I think you're right. Maybe it's like that creative,
Liberties,
the liberty that they don't have. Then they are forever.
I mean, all they need to do is cater to their domestic market, right?
Yeah, which is enough lah.
Yes, it's sufficient.
1.4 billion people.
But the central question is, can they displace the United States? So with the US, they do it and everyone likes it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Every country has a group of people that just love American stuff.
Yeah, man. It's true, man.
So if again, going back to the question is, will China take over the US? Whatever.
Like hegemon, is that?
So there is from a technological component, which we've agreed is semi-complex given all the subsets to technology. Then you have the soft power component, which sounds like
US is the. I feel you know.
I mean, if you throw a dart to any country in Europe, there are like out of 100 people you survey per European country, you get substantially more people who like US content relative to Chinese content, right?
I bet you, right? You can name me at least 3 superstars in America. I don't care music or art or actor or that, but I bet it's very hard for majority of the world to name 3 from mainland China.
And there's a reason
Jack
why.
Chan,
Yeah, but it's Hong
China?
Kong. It's Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong.
Oh, it's from Hong
It's
Kong.
part of
Shit.
China.
But to your point, the
John
reason is
Cena.
because you actually cannot be more famous than the president in China. Not to say cannot, but it's like an unwritten rule.
Oh.
If you get too popular, there will be a lot of attention paid to you and you will disappear.
Like Jack Ma.
Well, the Jack Ma is one, and then there's a Fan Bingbing, same thing.
Oh
that?
shit.
Fan Bingbing is the top model in China.
Hey, can you just Google Fan Bingbing?
She acted in a few Western movies as
X-Men
well.
2, I think.
Ah.
Huh? Fan Bingbing, I think so.
I think you see the face, you know, Fan Bingbing.
Yeah, she's that famous.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
Let's see her
Right,
filmography. Go movies and shows. Movies and shows.
Wait, I think she's in Transformers.
The fuck?
X-Men. Days of Future Past.
Who was she?
You click.
She's a mutant.
I mean, yeah lah.
No, is she the what's her name?
She Caliphate only.
Hey, the Meg. Oh, she's in the Meg.
I watched the Mac. A horrible movie.
And you don't remember Fan Bingbing
I don't remember
inside.
Fan Bingbing.
Yeah, but so when you get too popular, then you're gone, right? But in the US, very different, right? You know a lot of movie stars.
You become president.
You can become president, exactly. Right? Last time, people barely knew about George Bush. I mean, they knew him, but they will know Rihanna more,
Yeah.
right? Or Drake, or like Kobe Bryant, LeBron.
Very hard lah. I don't know lah. I feel like you need to have both in order to take over. That's the thing.
How do you think lives will become different for us Malaysians if China take over?
I think for Malaysians is bad.
Like how? Like on
this
in our
is so
daily
bad.
life. I mean, Andrew is already affected. I wonder if Andrew is living that life then.
I don't know whether you're allowed to disclose, but hypothetically, if China were to be the superpower and then you're just a matai to them,
Sure.
how do you think it would pan out in your day-to-day life?
Our generation will suffer lah.
Oh,
But I think our kids would be fine. They'd adapt by then.
Right.
I'm speaking from the perspective of how hardcore you have to work, how competitive the scene is, how stressful life would be,
How little they pay you for your work.
how kiasu your parents would have treated you as a 6-year-old child going into standard 1. Like, I'm talking from that perspective. I think our kids will suffer. We will suffer the most. Kids will suffer slightly less. Our kids will be just fine.
but you say that, and Nick on the other side is also kind of on the same boat. But I heard that, not you guys, I heard that people working under China company are paid way better than other MNCs in Malaysia.
MNCs, I don't know, but Malaysian companies, yes.
No, definitely not. Malaysian cannot compete.
I actually don't think they. I agree they pay better than the average local company. I can only speak in today's terms lah. So the pay is not the issue. How competitive it is to get a job would be the issue.
Oh,
Yeah. So even if you
To get in the door lah.
And also when you get in, the work you put in.
correct,
So
to
people
stay
don't
there.
calculate like effort or time spent per dollar earned. People just look at
The dollar.
but why go in then? If like the immediate motivation is not money, so that means like because of the money, you're motivated to go in. So that they pay you more.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was talking to a colleague about this. It's the equivalent of a Chinese company would be very happy to hire one person to do 3 people's job, but pay him 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from your perspective as an individual, you're being paid quite well,
Yeah.
but you're working like a dog lah.
But I don't know what these companies are thinking. Like, how is that even feasible? Like one person to work 3 persons workload.
That's why they pick the cream of the crop.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that those people who work in these companies are actually willing to sacrifice their life to work that amount of work.
It's money.
Nick says he think it's a culture thing.
Oh, they expect the locals to do the same lah. I think if it were to happen, a lot of people would leave Malaysia lah.
No, I just don't work under these companies.
No, I mean because eventually lah, right? If let's say the competition is so good, because technically your output is damn good, right? You hire people and you pay them only a 1.5 of expected salary, and then they work 3 jobs. And they hire the cream of the crop. So if trajectory-wise, if majority of companies do really well, and then they outcompete the local companies, eventually local companies will tap up as well, right? Or
true.
they don't really have much to offer, or they offer for, because you have to pay people normal wages, or at least less than China, but normal wages in order to do 75% of what a Chinese company can output. So a lot of people will feel like, fuck this, either move to a rural area and then I just do shitty job, or I move out of the country. I mean, that's what I would do. Because I feel like there's no competition. I cannot fight. I cannot compete with. You know what I mean? I'm not the cream of the crop. So I would just leave, go to another place. And
I would say to your point, we can compete because what China has, the one big issue is monoculture. So they are a bit oblivious of other.
Oh, bro, yeah.
You know, recently there was this China guy complaining about how he will never hire Malays because they are lazy or whatever, right?
The mainland China said that.
Mainland China, yeah. So, so they lack that sensitivity because back in their country, they were the only race. So they just say what, and then it's Chinese people, right? So they just say what they want. So there is a downside to them. And when, like, the big skill that Malaysians have is adaptable is one, but also we know sensitivities, right? We know.
I think we're overly sensitive sometimes. So actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that even if that's true, it's still an advantage that they don't have. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't have to make sure that we have back in their country, they have to care about Muslim sensitivities, right? They jail Muslims, right? In Xinjiang, right? They just put them in eradication camps and all that. So I think that's definitely one advantage. And you look at the way they are. Part of the reason why their soft power is and their perception is so bad is because they don't really know how to market themselves, right? Chinese food is still seen as like cheap food, right? It's something you eat that is, Panda Express.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. To some extent.
But Japanese food, you see the elevation is already so high.
Yeah.
Right? Even Korean food is already...
Even I think steak, Western food also, unless you... Actually, no, there's multi-category. They have hamburgers and fast food.
So, I actually doubt how much inroads they can make competitively.
Do you think back in the past, right, like if podcasting existed and our parents did a podcast, right, they would talk about whether Japan would be the one that replaces the US.
Oh, they did? That's the thing. They did?
And it didn't. It just
withered away.
Yeah. In fact, I think Japan quite shit compared to like China in some aspects, like some places quite old.
I can share this. I did the math, right? Actually at their peak, 2 facts. First, they had a higher GDP per capita than the United States, which is very, very hard to beat.
What, Japan?
Yes. Their economy reached about 60% of the US economy. And the Imperial Palace in Japan was worth more than the entire state of California.
What the fuck?
This is 1985, I think.
Oh, I think I saw this. It was like some lot in Ginza also, 1 square feet or some shit cost more than a landed property in California.
So, and then during the 80s, there were a lot of books coming out comparing corporate culture between the US and China. And why are the Japanese kicking our ass? Steve Jobs, his idol is the Sony guy, right? Everything. So there's a lot of respect for Japan. And then they come to the very similar conclusion. The Americans are not as disciplined. They like to enjoy life a bit more. Whereas these Asians are like, disciplined and systematic and whatever.
Team sport, work together.
Yeah, and so what happened with Japan, multitude of factors, Plaza Accords, where anyways, currency related, plus eventually they just lose out of steam, right? They are not giving so much birth. Then
because the balance was not there.
And then they probably got a bit cocky, right? They felt like we were
top shit.
We were already overtaking the United States already, right? They created the cars, but our Toyotas are kicking Ford's ass or Chevrolet's ass. So a lot of these East Asian societies find it very hard to go through renewal. So they will have a big run in whatever they are doing, and they're top dogs in that, but they cannot renew and reinvent themselves because let's say they create an industry that is so effective, and then 10 years down the road with technology, they realize, we need to change, but then so many people are hired, so we need to like slowly phase out the economy. Whereas the US mindset is now we just rip off the Band-Aid, we just amputate. Right? Like Doge right now with Elon Musk, they just cut. Oh, but what? But there are a lot of people that are on their salary are reliant on this. Yeah, who cares? Cut.
But I think China does that too. So they do massive layoffs. They do.
No, so China has SOE. So these are state-owned enterprises that are also non-profitable one. The average profit margin is negative one for these SOEs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so because if they get rid of it, then there's mass unemployment and they don't like that. Whereas the US, they don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's San
a
Francisco,
capitalist
right?
society, yeah.
They say oh yeah, on the streets, okay, whatever. So the US has this ability to renew themselves. So it's like, oh, we used to be the manufacturing powerhouse of the world. Japan and Germany took over, and then later China. Never mind, we'll be the tech powerhouse. We invent something completely new, social media.
Oh yeah, way.
You know, they just are very good at.
I think it's also because it's multicultural, so that's why you have various aspects that kind of chip in, and then that way you can and you have liberty also, the freedom to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite crazy way actually. Now you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Private companies in China, from my observation, they cut quick. They cut quick. They move quick. They pivot quick.
They pivot quick also lah.
Those are private entities in China, but I'm assuming
Not the SOEs.
a large percentage of the Chinese population are hired by
Exactly.
right these
And
GLC.
okay,
equivalents,
so
basically.
like these corporations you talk about, what's the average like number of employees? Roughly.
Yeah, I mean,
10,000, 20,000?
Yeah, in the thousand. Yeah, exactly. In the tens of thousands, probably right. But these ones are like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, but that like one TikTok is maybe like 5 steel mills.
Oh shit.
And they're like almost 100 in China, and that's just steel. How about aluminium? How about copper? How about iron and coal and all that?
Yeah.
So,
So they're all running at loss because they're trying to pay everybody the salary to survive in a way lah.
yeah, so they have to keep this alive. It's a bit like us here where people say, oh, we have a bloated civil service. Like we have what, 1.4
Million people.
million people working in the civil service.
God, man. Yeah.
Then they say we should get rid. Then my argument is that you can get rid of them, but then you have like 600,000-700,000 bums on the street, not capable of holding a private sector job because now suddenly there's KPI, no pension. What?
Yeah.
I can get fired. What? So like these people,
I can get fired. What?
what? Right? Like people, why do people join like GLCs and all that?
You can't get fired.
Because you can't get fired and you get a comfy salary, right? For
basically
doing
cannot.
like,
Huh? Really?
cannot.
Motherfucker.
Cannot.
But now no more pension already, ma.
Reform lah, I would say, not saying no more. So that's why like Japan lost steam. But they'll do okay, right?
But that's why also the US looks like shit lah. I suppose certain aspects of the people suffer.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some, I suppose.
Yeah.
The US has this ability to just say, you know what, there are winners and losers. We just help the winners, the losers just be losers. That's it.
Actually, it's quite brutal lah. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
So this.
Oh.
But of course, they will say, look, just because you're a loser doesn't mean that you cannot be a winner. But don't go and say we should create a society or system where there are only winners. Or the winners don't win so much more than the losers. To them, it's no, winners will win big and losers will lose big. That's it. Just don't be a loser. Literally.
Actually, it's true. Actually, I feel right. Like maybe China also is reaching that Japan point that people like to travel there because it's cheap, because it's affordable luxury, because it's that sort of it's like in parallels. It's like almost in parallels, that type of thing. I feel like Japanese food at the time was also seen as raw fish. China food was like what mala. And now it's like, remember there was a wave of Japanese shit in 2000, like Sushi King, shit like that. Aeon, supermarket shit, fucking cheap like fried noodles and fuck like that lah. Right now it's like, oh, you see so many China shit. It's like in parallels. It's quite mad. Right now you say that.
Yeah.
Actually, is hot pot really a China thing? Or is it just something that is
think it's
popular in
China
Malaysia?
thing.
Can you
It
just
is
Google
It's a
where
China
hot pot
thing.
originated?
It's a China thing.
You think so? True lah. Actually, I don't know any other culture that cooks in a pot in front of everybody together lah.
Yeah.
I know yakiniku lah, like grilled meat lah, like Koreans. They're quite sick lah.
But the only popular China food that we all eat is hot pot, right?
And
bro,
Suan Cai.
bro. I eat a lot. I don't know. Recently, my cravings for Chinese food is mad lah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, man.
So it's no longer Peking duck.
Peking duck is expensive. That's why I feel. Hot pot from China. My current favorite is mee tarik, man.
What, 2,000 years of hot pot? What the hell?
Yeah. Definitely China, man.
currently mee tarik is like the shit lah.
This is the Chinese Muslim.
Yeah.
What was it? Is it like mala and
Bro,
beef?
I cannot explain. The best mee tarik place for me is Pavilion KL Food Court.
Oh,
Bro.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Wait, wait,
which pavilion? The KL one.
Yeah, Pavilion KL
Okay,
Food
would you
Court.
say mee tarik is closer in terms of flavor to pho or ramen?
Closer to ramen.
Oh, really? Ah, wow. I always see it closer to pho.
Must get the cold one, bro. Slaps hard, bro.
Oh, wow. Now you got me excited. man.
So good, bro. It's so good. Shit, man. And it's so cheap. That's the thing.
Really?
It's kind of like a cheaper ramen, but the noodles better. You know why not? Because you see, right, when ramen, they make this Japanese people too perfect, you know. They cut lah, them nice lah, the ramen, they plate them nice lah. Chinese people don't give a fuck one, you know. You know how they make mee tarik, you know? They take a lump of dough, right, and they pull it. Then they, like that, then got a loop, ma. Then they pull the loop. Then become 4. Then pull, become 8. Then pull. But this Chinese guy don't give a fuck, because he doesn't get paid enough, right, in life, right? And he's gonna die, lah. So he doesn't give a fuck, lah, right? So he pull, and then some is damn thin, some is damn thick. But wow, I tell you, when you eat, it's like multiple texture in your mouth.
Oh,
So keep
wow.
on what you're doing, son. Hope you get paid less.
Keep failing, man.
Keep failing, my guy.
How much is it?
15 ringgit?
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro. Ramen, if you go to a cheap place, at least 25.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a cheapo sushi zanmai piece of shit.
You
right?
actually doubt the quality also.
Yeah, but this one, wow, bro, damn good. And I've been to a few mee tarik places. I've been to the famous one on Jalan.
The KL one, right? Opposite Leaf and Co. How's that? That one is the most popular one.
It's meh.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the Pavilion KL one, wow, shit, man. Cold beef. Nobody lines up for it. Fantastic. Yeah, man.
That's China's soft power.
Yeah, that's
When's the last time you rave about American food?
Speaking, I don't know. Do you guys read manhwa?
Korean.
I heard this.
Last time.
But there's a China one also
No, I
now
read the
coming out.
Korea.
I don't know. Do you all read? Do you all have a opinion on that?
No. I still only love like
Manga.
Yeah, like the manga feel. I
Solo
don't know.
leveling is pretty good.
I tried.
So that means Korean, right?
Yeah, it's Korean.
Manhwa.
Yeah, manhwas are pretty good, man. Especially like the way they frame the panels.
The
are
art's
very
pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a bit blank, got space
No,
when you
it's
scroll.
very, it's very suitable for our device. You know, you scroll, then suddenly it's like just blank canvas, but it gives you time to think.
Yeah.
You don't have to like, when you read One Piece on mobile, you have to zoom in. It's like, can't even make out what is this.
Yeah,
One Piece is fine Waldo, man.
But I feel I cannot appreciate manhwa as much. It's just me.
I know the China one last time, the famous is Feng Wan.
What's that?
I don't know.
Feng Wan.
You got to read?
You know Feng Wan?
You Google?
I know now they're having 1 minute series, man.
What?
1 minute series.
So you just watch for
You
one
watch
minute.
for 1
Hey,
minute.
Nick, you try to
That's what
find
Yvonne
Feng Wan.
watches. That's how she watched Breaking Bad.
What the fuck?
It's not 1 minute lah.
It's like what
I think
Win-
it's marketed as 1 minute,
like
but some of
Win
it is
Clock.
like 12 minutes.
Oh, it's a summarized version of.
It's a synthesis of what a series is.
Basically, the Feng Wan thing came out during the time of Fire Fist of the North or something like that. So it has a very similar style.
Yeah, see, that's another thing about China. I feel like they haven't really evolved past that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Art road looks not bad.
Last time Chinese New Year, right? They will always play it because there's the Hong Kong stars made an adaptation movie when we were kids. They will always play it.
No, see, that's the thing. Chinese art and it's all like that, right? Black Myth Wukong, Nata, it's all like this style.
Yeah, they don't really innovate.
Whereas when I look at like Japan stuff, they take inspirations from different places, right?
And then they reinvent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
not like Bleach takes let's say
Shinigami.
yeah,
law.
no, so that's Japanese, so they take a bit of that. But
Dragon
then
Ball lah,
you know
Dragon Ball
their villains are like Spanish, Arancas.
Oh, Espada.
And then the Germans, which is the 1,000-year block, right? One Piece takes like from Vikings. One Piece takes all over, lah, right? So you see them like synthesizing what they have at home with what they have abroad.
Yeah.
But the China one still feels a bit like monoculture, lah. They haven't.
Yeah, actually, it's true.
Part of this.
Even like the Japanese, like Dragon Ball, they would take like Son Goku.
That's Superman, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that Superman, right?
what? Dragon Ball?
Dragon
No,
Ball?
like, but they were inspired by. I mean, Goku is Japan's answer to Superman, right?
Really, man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just.
No, I
thought
don't
was
think
just
it
like-
was intentional. They just ended up like, we got two sides who are actually creating this kind of media of superheroes or super characters, right?
No, but definitely Goku came after Superman. Right? Goku is in the 80s, right? Superman is in the 30s.
But I don't
40s.
think that's how manga artists work.
No, but they take like what I'm saying. They take
Bits and
classic
pieces.
one is Slam Dunk,
Ah.
red color.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah lah,
and
yeah.
In the 90s.
the Bulls.
Chicago Bulls,
Chicago Bulls.
Sakuragi is basically the
Jordan, but Japanese.
No,
Jordan,
he's Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Oh yeah. He's Dennis Rodman. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even what was that? That Thunder Fruit guy is Eminem, right?
Thunderfruit. Oh yeah, NL.
The
NL.
Detective Conan is
From
like
One Piece,
Sherlock, you know.
Yeah.
You know NL?
The
From One
Eminem
Piece.
fella.
One Piece,
He
One
eats the
Piece.
Thunder Fruit one. You Google ENEL, you will know one. If you see him, you're like, bro, that's Eminem, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true lah.
They don't integrate lah, you know, that's what I'm trying to say with foreigners. So that's why their soft power is like very lacking.
Hey, but there's this one guy. There's a one guy who's carrying the whole China soft power on his back, man. Tony from LC San. Howdy, homie. It's Tony.
Okay. But you see why he did that? Because he integrated Western stuff into what he's doing.
Accents, he did
Right?
Mexican shit also.
People are like now saying, "Hey, we need to get a sign. Bro, we should get a sign for LC Sign, man.
Yeah, just because at this point.
Just because, right?
Howdy, homie.
I think it's only like 23.
Yeah, like less than 25, something like
Yeah,
that.
man. It's mad, man. All right, I guess overall, do you think yes, yay, nay, I guess?
I think it'd be very, very difficult for China to do it because they're running out of time. They will get old before they get rich. And I know like a lot of people think China is rich really, but it's really only the tier 1 cities that are rich.
Yeah,
Most
that's
people are not there. And even within tier 1 cities,
There's pockets of
there's big pockets of poverty and things like that. Aging population,
and it's
less
cost of
efficient economy also,
yeah.
right?
But that's the same exact thing for America as well lah.
But there's a difference because they got more open immigration.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't have a lot of enemies where they are.
So I'm assuming your answer is a nay.
I think it'd be very, very difficult. And I think if I'm China, I wouldn't try to like displace the US.
Try to work with
Try to, you can say work with, try to be more integrated into the global system, right? Like, why no Facebook? Why no,
Yeah. Why not just
Instagram?
actually, why they so stubborn? The fuck? Just work together lah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Stubborn. What?
Why don't you just work with everybody? Just like, okay lah. Actually, it's true lah. Should work together, everybody.
Eventually, the Chinese Communist Party will also have to be like, I don't think we can control all these things anymore.
But I think it's an Asian thing, right? Same goes with Korean and Japanese, where they don't want to work with anybody. You know, last time when Singapore got the Japanese company to finally invest in Singapore, right? All the top management is all Japanese people. It took them a long time to even want to hire local Singaporeans.
Or as the top.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think out of all the East Asian countries, only Taiwanese are open.
And they are the most Americanized.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But the other East Asian countries, it's the same.
I gotta go to Taiwan lah. Never been to Taiwan.
Taiwan is nice.
Super chill place.
Huh?
Damn
Chill
chill.
place. Chill place.
The Chinese there have similar vibes with the Chinese here.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
I feel like
Not the city ones, the outskirts.
Oh.
Same vibes.
I think it'll be Taiwan is what Malaysia would be if it was run by Chinese people. I think so.
Which is not half bad if you think about it.
TSMC.
Yeah.
All right. Drew, what do you think? Yay, nay?
I'm yay because I work in a Chinese company now. But you can ask me in a few months' time.
Oh damn. Okay, I'll get back
When
to
or
you.
if
on
you're
that.
not there anymore.
I'll get back to you on that, I guess. What about you?
I think as an individual, there are other means to achieve that same income, right? But you don't need to sacrifice your life. So nay for me.
Yeah, that's just a nay. It's quite clear. Any.
I vote yay. That's why you cut out the podcast. You're like, what? Let us know lah what you think in the podcast. Do you think China number one? Do you think 中国是第一? Or do you think 美国是第一?
You know, if we say Taiwan is number one, right, does it mean that automatically China is number one?
No lah.
Because, it's like...
Bro, that's like saying like Haidilao number one or Shilin number one.
But to your point, 2-3 years ago or 4 years ago, Taiwan legalized gay marriage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So then I started saying, China now allows gay marriage.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point,
Say one Taiwan for you.
Say one. But I can tell you the Taiwan issue really like turns people's personality around. I used to have this uncle, he's the nicest guy ever, But the minute you mention, maybe Taiwan should be independent, he literally bangs the table.
Bro, that's how I feel about football fans. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they're a bit extreme.
Yeah, football fans are extreme, man.
Yeah.
Not for Man United fans now, don't worry.
No, it's the same.
No, now you abuse us, we are like we abuse ourselves more. Bro,
There's nothing
we need a Man United podcast.
There's no pride in it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Yeah, let us know, China or US. Just comment which team you are. Just comment.
Come score us lah. Why we are not patriotic? Even though we are not from China, but we are not patriotic. Because
They will say balik. They will say you what leave Malaysia. Okay lah. Don't forget like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.